Today, it's about how short of a time it takes to have revelation. Or just an idea. I didn't have my door shut. Anyway, and I don't have my speaker on, and I don't have my headphones on. I have my speaker on out front, but we're just presenting today how quickly things will take and how fast. And I don't have my insulation on. I'm completely not prepared, but that's okay. I'm in the moment, and that's the point. Okay, here we go. So that is what's our ending. So here we are today, presenting me and who I am and what's going on. I'm just reorganizing my desktop real quick so I can see the channels I'm broadcasting to, which are 3 today, and one of them I will stop broadcasting to at some point, which will be soon. Anyway, here we go. We're on live. My backdrops are looking good. I should probably update one of them, but whatever, it doesn't matter. What we're here today is, my hair's a mess. That's because I've been trying to just put it together, and I just decided to slop it together quick. So the subject today is me. Who in the hell am I? My name is Laverne, and today is the summer solstice, June 21st. And normally I would be at the Renewable Energy Fair, and which I spent many, many years, 20-some years, plus years going to. And it's up in Wisconsin, Amherst, Wisconsin. And I know it's been postponed because of COVID for the last year. I don't know about this year, but it's one of the best educational facilities in the country. So I thought I'd come online today because it is the summer solstice and to talk about the Midwest Renewable Energy Fair. And to let people know that it's the greatest thing. So next year when you get a chance to go up to Amherst, Wisconsin, do so. It's an awesome place. And you learn tremendous amounts about solar. So my name is Laverne. So Laverne means the green in literal terms. Verne is green, verde. In all languages, it means the green. So my whole life, I've always tried to be reasonably green, the best I can do in my highly technological society. So anyway, today, who in the heck am I and why am I doing this? Well, I've been a photographer as far as I can remember. They gave me a camera in like 4th grade or something, and that's the only thing I always felt like I naturally knew how to do was to photograph and to take images and to put images together and this kind of thing. So that's the only thing I actually know how to do naturally. Everything else I know, I have been taught. I have learned. So nothing really comes natural. We all learn everything, and they just gave me a camera early on, and it was something I could go do, and no one would pester me about. So, that was great. So, but over the years, what have I done? I've worked at multiple jobs, factories and grocery stores and what have you. Always photographed throughout my whole life, always videotaped throughout my whole life, either for jobs or myself or whatever. Really big on the environmental movement. Really started working here at the OPPD board, trying to get them to change their ways clean back in 1994 or 92 or whatever, early 90s, when I walked across the country with an environmental group called the Global Walk for a Livable World. I was one of the organizers of that crazy group that went across the country demonstrating renewable energy and how to live a life without the whole carbon thing. And even though we were, burning carbon in these vehicles that were following us and things. But we did convert the buses to propane. We did put solar panels on everything we could. We did convert everything, the pumps and everything, to electric and got them running on electric and solar. So we converted as much of the walk as we possibly could. And that was under my guidance of the research and things that I was doing on that walk. I was the acquisitions manager, so I was the one pulling everything together so it would be as environmentally sane as it could be. It was a vegetarian walk also because it's lighter to eat light on the planet. After that, I came home and invested in a vegetarian restaurant here in McFoster's Natural Kind Cafe here in Omaha, Nebraska, and it ran for 20-some plus years as the only vegetarian restaurant in the city. But now vegetarianism is everywhere. You can get a gluten-free vegetarian pizza from Mama's Pizza. So it's over. That whole change the diet is done. People who want to have vegetarian food and gluten-free food have it now. They have gluten-free pastas. They have organic whole wheat pastas. They have all kinds of food. All the restaurants are catering to gluten-free and vegetarian, at least part of their menu. Better than just here's a plate of beans or here's a plate of corn, as your vegetarian options, how it used to be in the past. So, yeah, so that conversion is over. You can get it, you can get salads at McDonald's. So, that's done. So that ended up closing because it was no longer necessary to have a vegetarian restaurant. So I wonder if my microphone needs to be turned up a little bit. I don't know. But anyway, so what else did I do? Other things have I done? So right now I'm doing this. I'm broadcasting this. I lived in Sedona for 10 years, which is the New Age center of the world, and I got exposed to tons and tons of New Age ideas and philosophies. And the best thing I ever got from it was a thing called myofascial release, or myofascial, and they're actually the postures that you need to do to release your muscles. They have a myofascial release massage therapy down in Sedona, and a man had invented that down there and perfected it, and it's great. But then he decides you can't massage everybody, so he began teaching different body postures and how to put your bone structure in a way that will support your muscles. And then after a minute and a half, your muscles recognize it, and then they let go, and you have great relief. And I'll be doing a separate video on the myofascial postures on this show as soon as I film it. And I am actually been trying to do them a lot more lately to get into better posture. So when I do film it, at least I'll have the correct postures, be able to do them. And I will say, don't worry about not being able to do the correct postures. I just think we should be able to start off with, well, this is how it should look. If it looks like this, then that's okay, because at least you're moving that way. And as the muscles release, you will be able to slowly but surely get the form that you need. So, all right. And so, that's kind of what I'm doing with this show. And so I also wanted to have some fun today with different backgrounds and different things going on here. So, so that's a little bit relaxing. That's nice. And I took this photograph on vacation, and it's blocking the sun, and I just think it's awesome. So I want to get into like defragging the brain. What do I do to help defrag the brain? Well, the first thing I do is try to ask myself true and honest questions, which are, when I'm stressed out, when I find my shoulders up against my ears, when I'm really, all concerned and all in an emotional uproar, I ask myself a couple questions. Well, can I know the future? Well, I know you can limitedly. You can throw a ball and guess the art and do the math, but you know what? I can't know the future. I just can't. And if I did, I'd be in Vegas right now, and I'd cash out and sit on a beach, and it'd be great, and I'd be rich, and it'd be fabulous. So, that just isn't, I can't know the future. So I'm going to say no to that question, because I can't know the future. Can you change the past? Well, every time we actually revisit the past with our memory and our thoughts, we actually change the past. So, because we add stuff to it that didn't exist, or new revelations that come along because, well, now we're older and we have a broader mind, a broader point of view, and this kind of thing. So, no, you really can't change what happened. You can only change how you think about it, right? And that's it. It doesn't actually change the factors. It doesn't bring the person back from death, or it doesn't change the accident, or it doesn't change the windfall. The past is the past. So what I've discovered is that when I'm caught up in my thoughts like that, then I'm thinking about the future, something I can't know. I'm thinking about the past, something I can't change. Well, if ask yourself this question: if you're not thinking about the past or the future, where are you? Well, you're right here. You're right here and now, and it took no effort. And that's the difference between every other, path. It's a pathless journey, and the paths all have a path for you. And what I'm suggesting is that there is no path, and there isn't anything to do. There's this questioning, this asking yourself deep question, like, can I know the future? I can't, so no. Can I change the past? Well, I can't, no. So if I'm not, and so why would I put my thoughts into realms that it has nothing to do? Because thoughts love to do stuff, okay? Thoughts, you get an idea and you want to jump in and start doing something immediately. Using your thoughts to run your microwave, to drive your car, to go to work, to know what you're doing in the world is awesome. When you're doing things, thoughts in place is perfect. And actual action applied to thought is making thought become a 3D reality. So you can have a thought about a spaceship, but if you never apply action, then it's electrons through a piece of meat in between your ears. If you apply action to those thoughts, then you might build a spaceship and create and actually bring that thought into the 3D world by your actions of pulling things together. So if I can't know the future and I can't change the past, then why am I putting my thoughts in those areas? It's just a waste of time. There's nothing for your thought to do in the future, and there's nothing for your thought to do in the past except create emotion, energy and motion. That's it. That's all it's going to ever create. And so you're going to be emotive, you're going to be upset or happy or glad. You can think good things about the past or the future. You can think bad things, whatever. None of it's real. All you're doing is creating emotion, and that emotion and those thoughts are now blocking the emotion of the moment. So you could be having a fabulous experience because there's a leaf in front of you crackling with a bug on it or something, or maybe not a bug, or maybe with an ice cream cone, or whatever brings you joy and happiness. You could be surrounded with it. And I know you are. If you're alive and you're well right now, then I know that you are surrounded by happiness. And I know that you are, because everything around you is trying to get your attention. Every color, every wall, every divot, everything in the whole world is trying to say, hey, look at me. And so it's all trying to get your attention. And you're just wrapped up in what you already know. You're sitting here rethinking the past and projecting that in the future and causing yourself emotional distress for who knows what reason. And when you could be just observing the present. Observing, a simple weed with a raindrop on it. And seeing the joy and the pleasure and feel how you're feeling in that moment. Not distracting yourself with ideas and thoughts and lots of pictures running through your head. No, actually observing. If you're not doing anything, if you're not actually in action, then you really shouldn't be having thoughts. You should be observing, looking out your eyeballs, looking out, absorbing, seeing, hearing, and actually observing the environment you're in. Because when you actually observe the environment you're in, you will not be in conflict with it because you'll go, oh, look, it's cold, I'll get a coat. Oh, look, it's hot, I'll get my swimsuit. Oh, hey, look, I'll observe the environment. Oh, look at that person needs help over there. Oh, hey, look at that, the toilet needs to be cleaning. Because you're observing the environment. You're able to then move with the environment, and you won't be in conflict with that environment. You won't be wearing a rainy day coat on a sunny day or your bathing suit on a winter day because you've observed the environment. You won't be saying the wrong thing to your aunts and uncles because you've observed that maybe this is not the environment to have this conversation. It's Thanksgiving dinner and we're all trying to enjoy ourselves or whatever, So to me, it's about the act of enjoying the moment, which many people say takes effort. And I would say it doesn't take any effort at all. It takes you to ask yourself, which might take a second effort, can I know the future? No. Can I change the past? No. Well, where am I? Well, guess where I'm at? I'm right here and now doing this video. and just having a kick. I'm emotionally unstressed and really happy. So there's some more questions you might want to ask yourself. because asking yourself questions is true meditation. So, is there anything on the planet in existence that cares what I think about it? No, nothing cares. And your thoughts about things only lets me know that you have a lack of understanding of those things. So if you decide something's good or bad, that tells me that you just don't understand the thing, and that you don't have a deep understanding of why the thing is, whatever you've decided is good or bad or whatever, you see. And so for me, I'm really trying to just, when I, see things, I inquire. I really want to inquire into things, ask questions. Why is this way? Why do you feel this way? Why do we need this or that? Because that's true meditation. And you can't know the truth of anything until you ask the questions. You can speculate. You can say, yeah, it means all this or that. But you don't really know until you ask the person why they're doing what they're doing, why they feel the way they feel. So, having your thoughts about it, nobody cares. Nobody cares what anybody's thinking, okay? Nobody. Because all the things that are will still be, regardless of what you think of it, period. You're against something, well, it still will be in existence, regardless if you're against it or not. So, we need to have deep understanding why things are. And this brings me here. This is a complete side issue. It just popped in my head while I'm sitting here thinking of it. I've been hearing a lot of criticism about the vice president and how she hasn't visited the border and blah 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 blah. And she's trying to work on the border crisis. Why haven't you visited the border? Well, she's constantly saying, I am trying to get at the root cause. Why are people leaving their countries? Why are they running from those countries and coming to ours? Well, we need to have a deep understanding of why these people are coming here. And when we find that out, maybe on the other end, we can solve that problem for them, and they won't have to come here to get it solved. We can, governments share with each other, people share, science shares, medical science shares. Education is about sharing. So we're all sharing ideas with each other, trying to get the best ideas in the world functioning. So, and sometimes they work good for a while, and sometimes they don't, and then things change, and then we got to change our ideas now, and that should be okay, Because once you say you know something, you've stopped inquiry, you've stopped the investigation, you've stopped asking questions. You think you know. This is what that means now. Dunk, which means that ends for you. It done. You'll never ask another question about that thing again. Time changes and that thing might change. It gets eroded by the wind and rain. It changes shape. It changes look. It gets older. It gets whatever happening with that organ, that thing. It's changing. So you stuck, and then you come back to it after 100 years, and you're like, "Whoa, it's not the same as it was. You're just not the same." Well, of course not. You weren't observing the changes that were happening to me while they were happening. Instead, you were locked into what you think you knew about something, and that's it. And you stopped, and you never, ever decided to inquire anymore. So anyway, those are some ideas for you to work on. So ask yourself some questions. Can you know the future? Can you change the past? I can't. No, I'm right here. It's all right. It took no effort to get here because, well, I didn't take any effort. I didn't have to hum a jumma. I didn't have to spend any time. I just asked myself a couple questions. Is there anything on the planet that's here for my approval or disapproval? No, there's nothing here that's here for my approval or disapproval. So, at the end of the day, nobody really cares what I think until I apply thought, until I apply action, energy to those things. And that's what's going on. So thank you and have a nice day.